Here we're looking at Morgan Stanley. We have our stock and focus segment. You can see it break to the upside here, breaking over the 200-day moving average, doing pretty nicely here, and holding the 50-day too. You see the MACD improving. Does look like we'll probably see this test the 21 range at least, up into the 20. But I do believe you'll see that exceed that very likely. You'll see this break higher. Everybody's pretty excited about the stress test, evidently. So the more, they're really coming into the banks, and you're seeing the banks do very well. I kind of look at. I have a differing opinion on it based upon just I think common sense. But it doesn't matter what I think overall on that. The bottom line is if they're coming into the banks, the money is coming into the banks. That's exactly where the market will move it. So it really doesn't matter if we what the opinion is on it. But my point to that is that when you look at a 50% saying, well, okay, if the market breaks down 50% and unemployment is X amount, we should be able to sustain our banks, and we should be able to handle that kind of issue. Now, what they're failing to leave out here is that it's basically fear and greed. And when you have that fear factor, that's the most powerful emotion there, as opposed to greed. So, for people to try to suggest that they can kind of contain a market contagion or something that's really starting to break down so dramatically, I think it's a very naive standpoint. I think it just shows, tries to marginalize, what goes on in the overall market, and they try to put a Band-Aid on it so everybody feels good and everybody thinks that it'll be a perfect scenario. I don't tend to agree with that. I think that there are market bubbles, there are market crashes. It goes with the territory. There is everyone always feels that they can kind of stop that from happening. They felt that they in 1929 they thought they put some things in there. In 1937 they thought that, we had a corrective move. We had one in 87. We had one in 2000. We had one in 2007. So you can't control that kind of environment, and I think it's very naive.